Start with the list here that I have. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وعز المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه المنتجبين وعلى جميع أنبياء الله والمرسلين. The first question is about why do we combine the time of Salat al-Dhuhr, al-Asr, al-Maghrib, wal-Isha. In other words, why Shia in general, they say it is permissible to pray Salat al-Dhuhr, and then after you are done from it, you pray al-Asr. Yani typically in the mosque nowadays, you can see some scholars, after Adhan al-Dhuhr, they pray al-Dhuhr. Dhuhr means noon, Salah, okay? And after al-Adhan, we do Iqama for Dhuhr. Then after we are done, we have like tasbih or small dua. And then after that, we have Iqama, and then we do what? Salat al-Asr. And same applies for al-Maghrib. After Adhan al-Maghrib, we have al-Iqama, then Salat al-Maghrib, yani sunset, then Tasbih al-Zahra alayhi salam, a short dua, or nawafil in general. I missed that in the previous state. And then we have Salat al-Isha. Yani typically what I'm saying, why this kind of setup, we don't see it in other school of thoughts? That's the question. First of all, we have in ours, among our scholars, we have very famous fatawa that dedicated specific time for Dhuhr and a specific time for Asr as a recommended time. We call it Waqt al-Fadila. Yani, they give us what is the best time for al-Dhuhr, what's the best time for al-Asr, what's the best time for al-Maghrib, what's the best time for al-Isha. In other words, our scholars, they say it is better to separate them. It is better to separate Dhuhr wal-Asr, al-Maghrib wal-Isha. But it is not wajib. Other schools of thoughts, they say the opposite. They say, no, you have to separate them. So what our proof? If I want to go with the hadith only, because we have some other proofs like أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا. I'm not going to enter into that ayah, but as hadith wise, if we take a look at Sunni school of thought, where did we get this? Combining them together. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. Where did we get it from? I'm going to give you some ahadith from other school of thought first. According to Sahih Muslim, and this hadith is Sahih al-Sanad, yani the chain of a transmission is authenticated one. And this is not from our resources. This is from their resources. They say an Ibn Abbas that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam combined Dhuhr and Asr, and he combined al-Maghrib and Isha without being afraid of anything, without any excuses like rain. So they asked Ibn Abbas, they did not say other excuses. They said, لا خوف ولا مطر. يعني he was not afraid of something, and it was not raining. Because back then, if it is raining heavily, it's not easy to go from one place to another. Especially, the road will be full of mud. So anyway, they asked Ibn Abbas, so if there was nothing to worry about, and it was not raining, how come the Prophet prayed them combined, Dhuhr wa Asr, then after that he prayed Maghrib and Isha during their time? Ibn Abbas answered, he said, Ibn Abbas said, قال أراد أن لا يحرج أمته. يعني the reason he did that, because he does not want to make it a hardship on his followers, on his ummah, on the nation of Muslims. So he does not want to make it hard. So Al-Rawi here, Abdullah bin Abbas, al-Hadith Sahih even with Al-Albani, and أخرجه أبو داود وأخرجه Muslim. طيب. So this is from Sunni resources. And according to Sunni resources, in certain areas, they have this combining philosophy. Like in Arafah, when you are traveling, if you are afraid of rain, if you are sick, so they have this idea. So how come they do not stick to this hadith? That's their fiqh. But you cannot use what you get used to against me. We as Shia, Muslim Shia, we believe it is better to separate them. But at the same time, if there is haraj, it is better to combine them. Because imagine now, like in this place, for instance, it is negative 20 out there. You want to go clean up your driveway because of all that snow. You come to the mosque, you go back home, then you want to come back for Asr. That's a hardship. That's a hardship. So that's why we try to combine them to make it easier on people. In some other places, some other cities, some other environments, maybe you are close to the mosque, it's much easier on you. That's a different story. And I will prove also from a hadith, Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam, that said it is okay to combine them. And we have some narrations that says it is better not to combine them. Or you can understand from certain hadith, it is better not to combine them. Like one of the riwayat, Al-Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, at a point they ask him why he is combining Al-Isha and Al-Maghrib, and he said because he is in a rush. So the atmosphere was to separate them. And why do we separate them? We say it is better to separate them because we have this ayah, and I want you please to pay attention to this ayah. They say, there is an ayah in the Quran said, إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. And according to Mufassirin, some Mufassirin, they say al-hasanat here is what? As-salah. So between the salah and another salah, if you sin, the other salah will be like what? Like a cleaning agent. It will get rid of the previous sayyi'at. So the more opportunities to get to clean up your sayyi'at, it would be better. So that's why they say it's one of the reasons better to separate them. But as far as in the mosque, it is less hardship nowadays, at least in our environment, to combine them. So it is not haram, okay? It is recommended to combine. It is recommended to separate them, and it is not haram to combine them. Having said that, now we move to another topic quickly related to it. Can I pray Al-Isha before Al-Maghrib? No. Can I pray Al-Asr before Al-Dhuhr? No. What if by mistake I did not pay attention, I prayed Al-Isha, okay, now I hear the adhan, I did not pay attention. I was confused. I prayed Al-Isha. When I was done, I remember I haven't prayed what? Al-Maghrib. You go back, you pray Al-Maghrib. Do I have to redo Al-Isha? No. Same thing with Al-Asr. I did not know I did not pray Al-Dhuhr. So I prayed Al-Isha, Al-Asr. Then when I was done, uh-oh, I did not pray at Dhuhr. Do I have to repeat Al-Asr? No. You pray what you missed at Dhuhr. Is that clear? Al-Jama'ah? What do you mean Al-Jama'ah? So let's say I come to the mosque there, pray. I do not know whether it's Maghrib or Isha. You just join. But you make sure your rak'ah fits what you are praying. Yani, if the Imam is praying Al-Asr, can I pray Al-Dhuhr? Yeah. If the Imam is praying Al-Dhuhr, can I pray Al-Asr if it is legitimate for me? Yes. No problem. But if the Imam is praying Mustahab, can I pray Jama'ah with him Wajib? No. If the Imam is praying At-Taraweeh or Salat Al-Layl, can I pray Jama'ah with him? No. You can't. Clear? Or if the Imam is praying Bima, no. If the Imam is praying, for instance, Biraja al-Matlubiyya, can I pray behind him Wajib? No, you can't, because this is totally different niyyah. Clear? Okay, another thing regarding the Maghrib and Isha. What if a person on purpose, he prayed Al-Isha, then he prayed Al-Maghrib? Is that valid? On purpose. He said, you know what, I want to pray, I want to kill the routine. Can I pray Al-Isha, then Al-Maghrib? On purpose, your salah is invalid. It will be invalid. Okay? It will be invalid. Other question would be, let's say I was very careful about the time. I thought this is Salat al-Dhuhr time. While I am praying, I hear the adhan. Should I repeat that salah? No, you don't have to. If at least one rak'ah, for instance, was within the time and you were careful about the time, you don't have to repeat that salah. If you were to be careless about that, that's a different story. Careless about the time, that's a different story. You refer to your marja regarding that. Another thing I would like to emphasize on, brothers and sisters, this is something maybe you don't pay attention. Tasbihat al-Zahra is highly authenticated deeds. وَإِنَّ مِنَ الذِّكْرِ الْكَثِيرِ تَسْبِيحُ جَدَّتي فاطمة عليها السلام. Hadith Sahih Salam. Yani some people, they think if they want to get hasanat, they have to read like 25 pages. No. Sometimes little of work and consistent and always you repeat it on time and you meditate through that is more important than reading 25 books and you don't have any, yani it's like any connection or any, thoughts about it. Yani, I'll give you an example. Wallah, a person, his doctor prescribed for him vitamin D. Every week you take one pill. Allah, I'm not a doctor. My PhD in something else. But let's assume this. One pill, vitamin D, a week. You know what? What does he do? He says, you know what? I take it by the end of the year. So how many weeks? We have 50 weeks. I take 52 pills one day. Does it count? It's harmful. While to take it on time, it makes sense. You cannot tell me, Khalas Sheikh, when I go home, I can pray all the mustahab, I do all the tasbih, and I read all the needed Quran. Ya Habibi, it's not this. You should not dehydrate your spiritual level. And don't you see nowadays, mashallah, the trend is you have big bottle of water, okay? You take it all over with you, all the places with you. What's your spiritual charge? Yani, that's why we have fuqaha, when you tell your scholar, I cannot pray at work. Can I just, when I come home after midnight, I can pray subh, dhuhr, asr, maghrib, isha at one shot? La ya habibi, you can't. Your work is haram. Go find something else. Any work that prevent you from praying on time or within the proper time, let me rephrase it, that's not right. You're doing something haram. There is no barakah. Yani you cannot tell me, Sheikh, on the weekend I can make up all the missed salah. Ya Habibi, you are ruining. Do you know that vitamin story that we were talking about? It's like taking all the vitamins that the doctor prescribed daily, you take it, all at one day during the year. Does not work. You harm yourself. You overload yourself. You start hating salah if you do that, because you feel it's a burden. Every day I have to repeat like 1 week. No, you do it on timely matter. It's like washing your hands. You wash your hand. Wallah, I washed it 10 times, on a Friday. Ya Habibi, you wash one. Before you eat, you wash your hand. After you are done, you wash your hand. Same thing with salah. It has specific times. So this is some of the things about the salah. And the last thing I would like to emphasize on is al-mustahab. We have many, not one or two. We have many authentic ahadith that guide us to have something we call an-nawafil. An-nawafil. An-nawafil, yani those are recommended salah. Yani for instance, Salatul Subh, it is highly recommended to have 2 rak'ah before Salatul Subh. Salatul Dhuhr, we have 8 rak'ah. You pray 2 like Salatul Subh. Al-Asr, we have 8 rak'ah before Al-Asr. And every 2 rak'ah like Salatul Subh. Al-Maghrib, after Al-Maghrib, we have 4 rak'ah, every 2 rak'ah separate like Salatul Subh. Because usually Al-Mustahab is 2 rak'ah, except Salat Al-Watr. Okay. Al-Isha, it is highly recommended to do 2 rak'ah while you are sitting after done from Al-Isha. Don't miss this. Halla, mashallah, shuf al-shabab, brothers here in north, south, to east, to west, كله busy in his phone. بس قل له تعال هلا سبح تسبيحة الزهراء. Sheikh, I don't have time. But 25 hours per 24 hours on TikTok is fine. بس قل له تسبيح الزهراء. يا عمي هلا شو تسبيح الزهراء شيخ؟ I'm busy هلا. قل له تعال صلي مستحب. ما I already prayed الظهر، يعني هلا كمان بدك تعملنا مستحب يا شيخ؟ خلص. بس هو هذا نفسه أعطيه فيلم a movie or YouTube or scrolling down TikTok stuff, useless sometimes. 1-2 hours he does not even pay attention. Why? Because he or she, they like this. But sometimes it seems we do not like to get connected to Allah. These are some of the questions I got. You have any questions before? Yes, sir.
I had a question about people that don't want to get married. What is that?
They don't want to get married?
Yeah. How does Islam put that?
This is a question or political question?
No. It's Islamic.
Okay, Islamic question?
Like I'm Muslim and I don't want to get married.
Halla, if you do not get married, there is a problem. Yani. But good for you. I mean, if you can survive. Marriage is not wajib. In Islam, marriage is not wajib. It is recommended. But Islam will tell you, if I find you doing haram or looking at haram or watching haram or subscribing to haram website, okay, or getting involved into haram relationship, Islam, it will tell you marriage is more than wajib on you. Good? So it varies. Allah, fi nas, they can survive. Fi nas, they cannot survive. Who is going to know? I do not know. You know better. It's between you and Allah. بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذيره. Okay? Other question? Yes. No, it's not going to break. If there is a barrier, like now here, this is considered legitimate jama'ah. Now, some scholars, they have a problem if they are praying adjacent to each other. But, the woman in the back and the man in front, it is not going to invalidate salah. You mean the row? Like the row? We don't have this here. No, that barrier is not going to make a difference if they are adjacent, as I said, to each other. To some scholars, they say if it is little bit of distance is good enough. Some scholars, they say no, it's a problem. It has to be more than a little bit of distance. Okay? So that depends on your scholar. What do you mean? What's the problem? Some space, and if it is like this spot here, it's not a big deal, but it is against getting organized. And this spot here is not a big deal. But more than that, some scholars might question it. Okay? It is for the sheikh to tell people, yeah, where is the problem? The problem, if there is a guy here, he is disconnecting jama'ah, this would be a problem. Yes? Well, first has to do with the environment, with the culture, your culture and their culture. What their parents are expecting. I'm sorry to use the word there, because I'm talking about the plural and plural. Has nothing to do with, what are their parents, what are their expectations? How far you are going with this talk? Is it halal or haram? Does it involve haram things, haram reactions? So it is a package deal. But definitely we have solutions for that. Otherwise, nothing will happen, nothing will click. There are certain things that religion take into consideration, even its culture. Can you come to the mosque dressing short as the imam وحاطط عمامة مثلا? Why? Is it haram? By itself, it is sitter. But you tell me, Sheikh, culture-wise, this is libas shuhra. You are downgrading yourself. Or you are going to your wedding and you are going with your short and your t-shirt. Does it work? Or swimming clothes, That's a cultural thing. You are not allowed to insult yourself or downgrade yourself, as well as also you have to respect what others, privacy, culture, environment. So religion, what cares about is you should not get involved in actions that might lead to haram, whether haram words, haram reaction, haram relationships, haram Snapchat images, whether it is 0 second or 10 seconds or permanent. Haram is haram, isn't it? حتى لو ما حدا شافها الملائكة can see it, Allah can see it, okay? مش being Snapchat خلاص you're safe. حتى the government has a copy if you want, okay? Secondly, it's about the goal. What's next? If it's serious relation, is it good to talk to the parents, tell them about it, how you want this to be treated, so too many things, okay? But definitely we have a solution. But sometimes you have to know how to give the answer for the proper people, proper time, proper environment, proper consequences. But what is haram is to get involved in any relationship that might lead to haram. Okay? But talking to someone by itself is not haram. Other questions before we start the dua? Questions? It's for free. Salah. Give it to you. Send your questions. Either I answer them on the group or I answer them here. If you have questions after that, I'm available. To me, questions are something very sacred because sometimes it might summarize books. The last thing I would like to advise for the last time, and maybe I'm going to start making people pay pay money for that in case of violation. Do not use your phone in the mosque, please. You want to use it, get outside, use it, come back. This is your clinic. This is intensive care. This is an intensive care for your spirituality. Do not make it like any other regular place. Ya Habibi, you go to movies, isn't it? Are you allowed to open your phone and let people, see? It's just a movie. I mean, just assume it is a movie. Okay? So please, out of respect, good etiquettes, good practice, we have something in Islam called adab, etiquettes. Those etiquettes we should respect, we should take care of, because if everyone now is on his phone, yani why are we in the mosque? Why? I saw some kids, they playing Uno. Okay, I have no problem with Uno. بس مش هون يعني. No other places يعني. Oh, he is playing his PUBG وما بعرف شو Fortnite with his new platform. الله يعيننا يلا. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. تقبل الله أعمالنا وأعمالكم إن شاء الله. إلى أرواح موتانا وموتاكم وموتى المؤمنين والمؤمنات نهدي ثواب الفاتحة. التصبيح والصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.